What's the challenge with that punt returner? Obviously, Duvernay's running all pro, and he's out, and this other guy comes in and has a 96-yard touchdown last week. So what does he in that unit do well?
Yeah, and he had some pretty good returns in the preseason. He had a big kickoff return against Kansas City in the preseason. So he's got tremendous speed. He's playing fearless right now. Both of those guys were playing really good going into the last game, and now he has the big return. So when you have a big return like that, it certainly builds a sense of confidence, not only in yourself but in your blockers, in the scheme, and to keep doing that. So it's a challenge for us, certainly a challenge for Daniel, where he puts the ball and how he handles the rush according to what he's going to do with the placement of the ball and then the coverage. So it's a big challenge. They've got a good return game.
I get that Brandon's job is to make kicks, so he did his job. But how hard is it to do what he did, where you're new to a team, you wait a whole game to get to your first kick of the season, late start to a season, and he puts it through the uprights with the game on the line?
Yeah, he spent way too much time thinking about it. I think that was his 312th kick in the National Football League. So I just think it was a matter of those three guys working diligently over the week to get the sense of timing down that they did. And I thought they did a good job, and it really wasn't, when thinking about the kick as much, I always think about the protection. I try to get back as far as I can to see the protection and assume that the rest of it's going to be done well.
He said that he's surprised that teams still call timeouts so soon before his run-up to give him a practice kick. Do you have a philosophy on icing a kicker, or does it change based on circumstance?
We do, and actually I think we've done it a couple times. I think I'm trying to think of what game Coach LaFleur did it, and the guy missed. Some guys like to take that practice kick if they can. Some guys don't. Just a personal preference to the kicker. Sounds like he likes to take it. He did. I know the week before when we tried to ice Arizona kid, he finished the kick as well and then came back. They like to see the flight of the ball or what the wind may be doing with it. So I think it's good in certain situations. We just have to see what each game brings. But I think he was prepared for it as well. We did it in Friday's practice, and it's been done to him a lot. So
Keyshawn explained after the game what happened on his punt return. But for Jaden, what's the coaching point that you give to him after his?
Yeah, don't catch it or score. The other guy hit a 96-yarder, and we got tackled on the 4. So I just think he kind of got lost where he was a little bit, and we did have a wind issue in the game, but I think both of those guys would, in different ways, like to have that play back.
Would a younger kicker typically have reacted poorly to the snap? So McManus has probably seen a million snaps in his whole life. Does he even, being a veteran, do you think they react better to, okay, it's just part of it and I got to still do my job?
I don't know if again, he's had a lot of kicks, so yes, he's seen a lot of different snaps or a lot of different positioning of the hold, that sort of thing. The mulligan was a perfect snap, and the last one was low, and inside, but we do bad ball drills for a reason, and that's where it showed up in the game.
You finally got a chance to see the kickoff, or you're starting to get to see a little bit more of your kickoff return unit. What have you thought, and where do you think you can still get it?
Well, you got to fix the penalty. We have a good return coming out of the box, and got a holding penalty, so it set us back on the 20 from I think the 43. So we'd like to clean that up. The other one I thought we had was a pretty good return. We're still playing with it a little bit. We haven't had as many opportunities as we would like or some other teams have had. So we'll see what this week brings. But we're kind of investigating. We're watching everybody around the league and watching ourselves, and we're putting guys in different positions. One week a guy's playing a tackle. Next week a guy might be playing the guard position. So we're trying to match up with other teams as well. So it's just, I still think for us it's a work in progress. As the weather changes, hopefully we'll get more opportunities for Keyshawn on the back end.
How do you determine when to put Jaden or Keyshawn on a punt return?
I think we've talked about this before. It's just kind of, where we are on the field, just about how they're playing, both of them, what's going on defense. Is it a 3 and out for Keyshawn? Is it, did Jay Reed just have a 9-play drive or a 6-minute play drive, and then all of a sudden we stopped him 3 and out, and it's time he's going to have to go again, and things like that. So it's kind of, where we are in the field a little bit and what the field looks like from both of those guys in the game. But, certainly we think they're both capable. Jay Reed coming out of college, we thought was a dynamic returner, and he still is. And certainly, Keyshawn, we've talked about the decision-making process all the time, and here we are talking about it again today, and I know he talked about it. So I think they had a great day today. Today was a return day for us. It was windy again, and so they've had 2 days of catching. They were better than they were last week, so we'll see what happens in the game.
Hey, Rich, what did you see from Daniel on Sunday, and just how critical was he? You know, some of the field position stuff you guys were able to do, and being able to kind of dictate that a little bit with his punts.
Yeah, we thought he played tremendous, obviously, and guys, some of the guys that don't get credit, the guys that play on the outside, Corey Ballantyne and Bo, they were both outstanding out there, and Zane inside in the coverage. But I think he had a real good feel for the wind and what it was doing. The two big ones he had were into the wind and really changed the field position. So I thought he hit a really clean ball. I thought his drop was cleaned up from a couple of weeks ago, and I thought he played with really quiet feet and a lot of confidence back there. And I thought as the game was going on, he had a really good feel for what he wanted to do, especially into the wind, and was successful doing it. So it's a tremendous game for him. He kept us in the game. He was one of our best defensive players,
Hey, Rich, you're halfway through year 3 here now, and you went through, Mason to Anders to Braden to now Brandon with the kicker. You have a 2-time All-Pro return guy. Your coverage units seem to be pretty good. Where do you think you are in terms of where you envision special teams, big picture being, and where you are now?
Yeah, I think our coverage, you talk about that, we had 3 missed tackles on that thing, kickoff. That's the biggest one we've given up all year. But I don't really look too far behind, and I can promise you, I do not look too far ahead, and I like to kind of stay where my feet are and try to preach the same thing to our players. I think special teams in the National Football League is always a work in progress. Players are constantly changing, in and out. If you just take example for Eric Wilson's one of our best special teams player, and last week it was like a high school game. He ended up playing all that defense and still played 5 phases of special teams and had to play a different position on field goal rushing. He's played normally because Quay went out. And so I think as players come in and out and you lose some veteran players, we've lost TD, we've lost some other guys that, rookies have to step up and play and play well for you. We have a young punter that's really only in his 2nd year. We have a snapper I think is only in his 5th year, although he's played in the Super Bowl, and he is a calming force for us. There was a little bit of a revolving door here at snapper for a while as well. So I think Brian's done a really good job of helping us work on the battery first, snapper, punter, kicker, who also ends up being the holder. And then we've gotten better with some speed players, since I've had a chance to come here, and we've gotten better in coverage, I think, because of it. So I just think special teams in this league, I don't think I've ever come out of a game as a special teams coach where I'm actually happy. It just doesn't happen. I don't think. There's too many things. We had 29 plays in the game and 4 bad ones, and those 4 bad ones cost us about 143 yards of field position. I was fortunate enough to win a Super Bowl, and in the Super Bowl, got a punt block. So, I'm the only guy with a sad face at the party. But I just think sometimes you can get comfortable, and comfort breeds contentment. Contentments breed poor execution, and I don't want to ever live in that world.
So after, like Zane Anderson or Eric, or some of these younger players you've been rotating in on special teams, you see some growth these last 7 or 8 weeks that might get you through the end of the season?
We think so. Hop's made some good plays for us, and Zane's really a young player, and he made a big play last week and an open field tackle, and J.J. Agabari's been playing well for us, and now Mosley made the 53 this year, and he's been dressing every week and making some plays. He had a big tackle 2 weeks ago, and then you see Bullard, right now is making plays for us and playing multiple positions on defense. So we're excited about the young group. Some of the guys that are behind and haven't dressed yet are actually practicing really well and preparing to play. And I'm sure when they get their opportunity to come up and play, we'll be expecting them to play well as well.
I know Matt's won a Super Bowl and he's been that calming guy, but is there any concern there? I mean, he had the high snap.
I have absolutely no concern. You can save the rest of your question.
Why do you have that sort of belief, not quite the right word for, but I'll use it, why you have such a strong belief in?
I see him every day. I see over 70 snaps a day, every day. The guy's been with us for 2 years. So my experience, my wisdom tells me he's a really good player. And I'll stand by that. So hope he's here a long time. Hope he's here a lot longer than me. It'd be good for the Green Bay Packers if he's here a long time.
Hey, Rich, I know you focus on your area, but you know good coaches. I'm curious, what makes a good defensive coordinator in your experience coaching in this league for as long as you have? And when you look at halfway.
You're unbelievable. You're absolutely unbelievable.
In a good way, right?
Ask me something else. Ask me about teams. Keep me in my lane today. I'm worried about a game. Got to go to Jacksonville and play a game. Got to play a little bit better than we played last week. Special teams.